What's crack-a-lackin', gentlemen? We are live on Steel Curtain Network, Fans First Sports Network, Homies Podcast, chilling with my boys B-Dirt, my boys Payday. We're -1 of the Fantastic Four this evening. We're going to get to that, but before we do, I just want to say what's cracking to B and Pay. What's going on, y'all? What's happening, Pay?
I'm good, B. I'm sorry, I called you B. I'm good, G.
Yeah.
G. I am
somewhere
good.
In the alphabet.
Yeah, you somewhere in there, man. But it's Friday. I can't complain, man. I'm healthy. I'm here with my homies. What else can a guy ask for?
Absolutely, man. Friday. You know, it's a Freaky Friday too. Hey, listen, so a lot of the graphics that we use, I'm up underneath a different account. So you're going to hear the more audio or the more talkative side of some of the graphics versus some of the actual graphics that we use on the show. But we'll talk a little bit more about that. B-Dirt, man, what's cracking, man? What's going on with you, man?
See, I'm telling you, I'm in Pay's head right now because he knows he cost me money. That's why I dusted off the hoodie.
I didn't do
Life's
anything.
too short to bet the under. If you listen to Pay Dirt, this man talked me into betting that under last night. And I need an apology from the Broncos and the Saints.
I need that same
apology.
apology.
It was too bad.
It sounds like a parlay is cooked. That's what it sounds like.
There's a parlay bet. Somewhere. There was a parlay. There was all kinds of stuff on that game.
Straight cooked.
And I had Denver -3. I had the Guardians +1.5. And he talked me into the under. I know better than bet the under.
Well, you know what? I mean, but it sounded good. Yeah, it was. I mean, you know, based on what happened, Pay, you know they should have took a knee, but you know, I don't want to stir you up.
First down, just throw yourself on the ground.
yeah.
What are we doing?
Yes, Pay's blood is still boiling, man. Still boiling from what occurred last night with that trash New Orleans Saints Denver Broncos game. But listen,
we got a lot of people over here rocking in the chat already.
Yeah, I see that already, man.
Yeah, I tell you, Rob Lightfoot already lit the chat on fire, saying Purdue is a dangerous opponent.
Rob,
they are notorious for upsetting ranked teams. I got bad news for you, man. Drew Brees ain't walking through that door.
Yeah, I'm not. You're lucky I don't have the Matrix tonight, Rob, because you would be, I mean, literally marched over to the front door and Claude would open it for you and let you in. But
you hear that, Claude? You can say whatever you want tonight. No Matrix.
So listen, hey man. So I've had an abundant amount of people text me, call me, ask me questions, hit me up on Facebook, all over social media feeds to ask what was going on with Kevin and what happened. Right. So we talked about it Wednesday on the Pump Your Brakes podcast. We'll just give you an update tonight. Kevin had a 6.5-year battle with not having kidneys, and he was going to dialysis 3 times a week. Any of you guys that know how that works is that when they call, you got to go. So I got a phone call about 3:30, 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
As far as receiving a transplant goes.
Absolutely. Yeah, I got a phone call about 3:30 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon on Wednesday. Tate told me he got a call, and he said he got to go. So his surgery went well. I got a phone call or a text early the next morning, which is Thursday morning, from Val, said that that's his wife, everything went well. I've talked to him actually 2 times since then, a couple of times via text, 1 time via phone. I've gotten pictures and updates, and he's doing okay. So he's going to be down for a little while. He'll be back. It's all good. But we thank everybody in the live chat, all the people that's been out there that's been praying for Kevin and, you know, hoping that he's going to get through this successfully. It's all good. So now they just got to do the test, what they got to do to make sure everything's cool. And he's back in the saddle again, man. So I know the fellas, I don't know who knew what as far as being paid, but I'm just making sure that everybody gets the information all at one time. So he is doing well. I got talked to him via text a little bit before the show, and he was getting on my damn nerves, just to be honest. You know, and I'm telling him, you're in the hospital, just chill, and we got this.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, Pay is blood, so I'm sure Pay knew everything was going on. I'm the white boy of the year, so you knew I knew what was going on. So
yeah, we're all we're all semi-family anywhere with a little asterisk or wherever you want to put it. We act like sometimes like we're brothers versus just being comrades. So, you know how it works. And I think that's why we call it the homies, because we're down with each other forever, to the grave.
Yeah, he sounded great too. He really did. Yeah. He's in good spirits, man.
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. Pay, you talked to him?
I have not talked to him today. I was letting him have a day of rest, but you know how Tate is. He's as you said, G. He can't put the phone down.
No, absolutely not.
I'm sure that's what he reached for first after he came back too. But no, I plan on talking to him at some point this weekend just to make sure he's good. Other than that, man, I feel like this is perfect for him. This is all right. Now he ain't gonna have that background noise. Listen, you hear that background noise with all that water bottle clanging on in the throughout the episode. So I'm happy for him.
The audio will be cleaned up without a shadow of a doubt.
There'll still be a bag of Skinny Pop back there, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I mean, we need a sponsorship for Skinny Pop.
We do,
man. We really do, because he was out there on the ledge early. So, all right, fellas, we got a big show tonight, and let me acknowledge the live chat, because like B-Dirt said, Rob Lightfoot's already acting a fool. So let me talk about who's in the live. Jay Devil, you in the live chat. Jay Steve, John, Tim Lyons, AFL 67, Slim Jim. What's cracking, man? Mr. Carlo in the building. Craig Winthrow.
We got Tate Boys.
Oh, he's in the live chat.
He's in the chat.
Rob Lightfoot, Claude Bishop, Matrix Man. What's cracking? Swoozy over there, Valley Ford. Who else we got over there? You said Tate Boy Fresh, George. Yeah, George T. Mean Green's over there. I didn't see Tate Boy. Afton, what's cracking, Afton? So Danny Littlejohn is over there. T. Riley, Blackstreet, what's cracking? There go Tate. There go Tate Boys. I see him over there, man. So we got a lot of people, man. A lot of people in the live chat. We appreciate all y'all. So you know how we get down. We're going to mute the mics. We're going to pause for the calls. If you're watching us live on YouTube, we'll be right back after we pay a few bills. If you're listening to us on audio, wherever you get your audio podcasts, be it Google, Spotify, and or Apple Podcasts, make sure you give us a thumbs up. Make sure you like, and make sure you subscribe and share. And we'll be right back with the edition of the Homies Podcast on Steel Curtain Network. And we're back live, kicking it in the building. You know how we get out every Friday. Homies Podcast, Steel Curtain Network, Fans First Sports Network. We swinging around the horn for the AFC. But I just got to say what's cracking to my two co-hosts, man. What's up, Pay and B-Dirt? What's going on with y'all, man? And y'all ready to do this football talk that we do every single Friday night. And we appreciate everybody in the live chat rocking with us. And make sure you hit those like and subscribes and algorithms, all for sure. So what's up, B? What's up with you, B-Dirt?
Man, I am I'm home again, as you can see. I do take a road show next week at Michigan State, and that is Jess's birthday weekend. So we will be doing dinner on Friday. So I'll probably be a little late getting in. Maybe catch that OT.
Yeah, got it. What's up, Pay? What's cracking with you? Pay, what you got on there? Oh, the South Side. It's Chi-Town. We know where you located at right now. But what's up with you, Pay?
Yeah, the rumor is they for sale.
Yeah, I'm hearing it.
Those White Sox.
Yeah, no one cares about the White Sox. But what I want to know is, do the Pittsburgh Steelers have a quarterback yet?
Yeah, they do. But you know
what they say. If you got two quarterbacks,
that's big trash. But I'm not
even got none.
Matter of fact, man, let me get my sign, man. Pay, you can go kick rocks early, man. Just
well, I got to kick rocks.
Get to kicking, man. We'll talk about the Steelers here in a little bit, man. But it's an AFC Friday. It's a Freaky Friday. It's a Super Chat Friday. All right. So we always got to start, in my opinion, sort of in reverse order, and rightfully so, because we only spend a little bit of time. But the Elves are trash. The Cleveland Browns are garbage. They have a total fire sale going on. Amari Cooper's already been shipped out to the Buffalo Bills for a pack of Annihilators and a pack of gum. And maybe an orange juice shot. That way you can eat that on the plane and be shipped over to Buffalo. And it looks like that they're going to just implode and get rid of everybody. I'm hearing other players on the trade block, including Smith, the defensive end, including Elijah Moore. I'm hearing all kind of stuff. So the Browns are trash. We know it. So I just want to get B-Dirt and Pay's thought process concerning, is it all over with for the Cleveland Browns? And I want to know, do y'all think the coach will get fired? B-Dirt, I'm going to start with you, bro. Your view on the Cleveland Browns.
Well, the Bengals are playing them this week, so we need to take care of business. I'll start there. Mm-hmm. You have a quarterback that has not thrown for 200 yards yet this year.
Facts.
You have a team that hasn't scored 20 points yet this year. The Bengals finally getting healthy on defense, only had one limited practice, and then we also have a cornerback on the IR. So getting healthier, they should take care of business this week. But again, the Bengals defense has been pretty porous. So if the Browns are going to get back on track, this is the week you would want, if you're a Browns fan, you would want to see them do it. Zadarius Smith makes a ton of sense to me to be out there on the trading block if they're going to start dumping people. He signed a 1-year, $11.7 million, I think it was, contract the offseason. Has played well. I think he's got 3 or 4 sacks on a year. Wins a decent percentage of his pass rushes. Could be a really good addition for a team like the Lions, who just lost Aiden Hutchinson.
Facts.
And I think the Lions are in a situation where they could probably give up a 2nd or 3rd round pick for a player and not be too hurt by it. I'm sure they'd like to get a multi-year deal done with him, get 2-3 years on contract. They do bring him over, but if you're going for it, if you're them, it makes sense to me. Elijah Moore, I think, you said him. Maybe one of the safeties could get hit the trading block, but Denzel Ward, I think he's got 3 more years of control in his 5-year contract. Yeah, he's staying put. So it's just interesting what you'll see. I think this is the game. This is the rubber match of the season for them. If they lose to the Bengals, I think they're in full sell now.
Facts. Me and Green, man, we appreciate it. He said, Big G, all of us have always known that the Cleveland Clown Show has always been big trash. Absolutely. We've known that for years. They talk. I don't know who talks more about them being good at the beginning of the year, the Cleveland Browns or the Dallas Cowboys. But all I know is every year they show us exactly who they are. Pay, man, your viewpoint concerning the Cleveland Browns and the garbage trash heap that they have. And Pay, you heard that the Cleveland city is pissed because they're moving the team from downtown Cleveland way out in the suburbs, 14 or 15 miles away. And they're going to cost the downtown area an annual of $30 million a year to move away from the downtown area of Cleveland. So your rendition of what's actually going on with those old elf boys up there by the lake.
I thought it was the practice facility that's being moved to the suburbs.
No, absolutely not. State-of-the-art roof stadium approved by the NFL, and they're moving 14. I think it's Parm City or something like that, where they're moving way out past Parma. I think they're southwest of Parma, where they're moving to. So way out, away from the downtown area of Cleveland.
Maybe that'll be maybe that'll help them start winning some games. The further you get away from Cleveland, the better you are, right?
Facts.
Or maybe getting a new quarterback, because as B eloquently said, he hasn't thrown for 200 yards yet this season. I don't think he's thrown for 300 since he's left. Well, since before the allegations started. So he's pretty much trash.
Brook Park.
Yeah, Brook Park. Yep. That's about 15 miles from downtown Cleveland. About 15 miles. Southwest of Parma.
as it goes for that Amari Cooper trade.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's one of those trades that galvanizes the team. I think that's more of a salary dump. Cleveland knows what they are, and kudos to them for realizing that. They looked in the mirror, they've realized, you know what, we're not good. They're trash. We're stuck with this garbage quarterback. We're not going to win many games this season, so we want to start dumping salary as a Cleveland Browns team. As a team that's born under Paul Brown, they tend to do. They dump salary quite often. I can't see them winning more than 4 games as on their current trajectory. Cincinnati doesn't have anything to worry about this weekend because, as I said, this trade is not a galvanizing one. This is one where the spirits in the locker room lessen, right? Hopefully they get one of those good draft picks and they draft a new quarterback, and then they say, all right, Deshaun, you can stay on the roster, but you're gonna sit on the pine.
But to both of you guys, I don't see the only people I see them actually holding on to is Nick Chubb, Denzel Ward, and Myles Garrett. I think everybody else is tradable asset. And B, I agree with you totally. If they drop this game to the Bengals, it's adios muchachos for the roster.
And I think listen, I think that's actually the smart play for them if they drop this game. I'm not throwing shade at them for doing that. I've as a Bengals fan, I've watched the Bengals sit on assets. I've watched them not trade guys in the last years of their contract when they weren't a good football team, and they could have got something for those guys. And I think it's cost the Bengals and set them back as a franchise. So they're doing the right thing to try to, fill that cabinet back up. You got to get the pantry full.
But the bread, and they're moving. So, I mean, I understand the revenue part of it. I understand that, you can get a Super Bowl possibly. You could get, it's right there across the street from the airport in Cleveland, right up the road. You could get a Final Four. You possibly could get a college football playoff stuff based on new renovations and stuff. But to desert downtown Cleveland just shows what we've always known. Now the Browns have officially moved out of Cleveland twice.
Let me ask you this, playing a little bit of a devil's advocate. Let's say Nick Chubb comes out, has 17 rushes for 104 yards and a touchdown against the Bengals. He's a free agent next year, 29 years old right now, right?
Yeah.
Do you flip him out?
If I was the organization?
You see what you can get for him?
Yeah, if I was the organization, yeah. And I've actually heard before that the only reason why Chubb's still there is because the fans love him so much. Because I've heard that they've been wanting to get off him as far as the asset is concerned. But so I agree.
You could spin that if you're the Browns front office as, this guy's had a great career here, and we owe it to him to later in his career to give him a shot at winning a title or playing at least playing some playoff football. You could spin that way and still get maybe a 3rd round draft pick for him and ship him off somewhere if you need him.
Yep.
A thought.
Yep. So, Pay, question to you. Do they fire the coach? If so, when and how?
Coach of the year last year.
Yeah, and for that reason, I can't see them firing the coach. He won Coach of the Year with 6 different quarterbacks. I believe he has got a contract extension not too long ago too, right? You can only dump so much salary. You can't dump a coach salary. You still got to pay that out. So you don't want to pay nobody for not working, right? Other than Deshaun, you can pay him for not working because he ain't working anyway. So no, I think Stefanski's safe. He will comfortably draft the next quarterback for the Browns.
I'm feeling it. Gavin, I feel this comment. I don't know if y'all can see it or not, man. Yeah, so I'm feeling it. But, any thoughts or comments concerning that, B-Dirt?
No, I was going to make a comment about Deshaun Watson. I actually, a gentleman I work with, a friend of mine, is an Eagles fan, went to that game last weekend. It said Deshaun Watson never spoke to anybody. He went over and sat on the bench and just put a towel over his head. He said he never grabbed a pad. He never was looking at the Microsoft pads, wasn't talking to coaches, wasn't talking to nobody. Just sat, pouted, and put a towel over his head.
Yep. All that's leading up to the fact, and y'all know what I'm going to say about him. Well, matter of fact, y'all don't know. Which one should I give him? Should I give him the dumpster juice?
Sounds juicy to me.
Man, listen. Man, where's my signs at, boy? Somebody been down here playing. I think them kids done got me again. But anyway, I'm going to find the sign. So listen, we're going to switch gears. We're going to talk about B-Dirt Cincinnati Bengals. B-Dirt, what's the state of the union with the Bengals, man? They trying to do it, man. They're trying to do it. They're trying to come back. You know, what do they got to do?
You know, earlier in the year, the defense was porous, to say the least. But they have 5 defensive linemen now. They've gotten those defensive linemen back. I'm not saying we're a great defensive line by any means. That was still my weakness, I thought, that I picked for the Bengals going into the season. But listen, last week's offensive output was an anomaly. You're going to have bad games here and there. They found a way to win. I'm not worried about Joe Burrow in the offense. If this defense can play average, we can make a run. So that's what we need to see. Can we play average defense?
Can play average.
Look at this dude. Look at this dude trying to come into the chat.
That's what we
well, you got to mute your mic or do something. You can't help yourself, man. You can't help yourself, man. What's up, Tate Boy Fresh, man? What's happening?
What's up, man?
Yeah. What's up with you, man?
Fellas? Pay. The thing about it is I can drink more water now.
Oh, no.
Oh my God! Hey, you see he's smiling and laughing.
More water now.
Yeah,
but yeah, man. I thank y'all, man. I heard the nice things you and Shannon said Wednesday, Big G, and y'all said tonight. Yeah, B Dirt knew he was a wee boy of the year. B Dirt actually appreciates you, brother. Years ago, was trying to see if he could be a donor. So it's been a process, but. Everything's good now. I'm just still in the hospital probably till Sunday, Monday at the latest.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to, thank you guys, man. You guys are my homies and my brothers, man. And I appreciate everybody in the live chat, man. I received all the prayers and all the support and everything and encouragement, man. It means a lot. I appreciate all you guys. I just wanted to show my face. Tate Boy Fresh is good, and I'm a little rough right now, but I'll be back fresh next week. I think I should be able to be next Friday, at least be back here by next Friday.
Yeah.
So I just want to shout out everybody, tell you guys you're doing a great job, even though you're not as anal as me. But
it's good. Yeah, no diddy, no doubt. Where's my sign? You get a no diddy before you get off the sign. You said you ain't anal. Where's my sign, man? Go ahead.
He said he was anal.
Yeah, he was.
I said you're not as anal as me.
Yeah.
That's not a pause.
No,
that's not a pause.
I'm looking for it. Man. No way, man.
You guys have given me crap about a lot less comments than that.
Big G went to the dirtiest root of the word, man. But where I'm at, not even center talking about that.
Man, I don't know, man. I don't know about all that. All I know is that one of these kids is caught up in the matrix as soon as I get my stuff together, because they done took my no doubt sign, man. my kids been using my signs, man.
So I'm not here to stay long, man. I just wanted to say thank you guys and thank the live chat. Thanks Steel Curtain Network. Bad reached out to me. Dave Schofield reached out to me. Me and Big G talked to Jeff before I was going to go into, the surgery, getting prepped and stuff.
Yeah.
So shout out to the whole Steel Curtain Network, man, and Fans First Sports Network is a family. I said in the live chat, the Cavs and Bulls is playing a preseason game right now.
Yeah.
Trash.
Who, the Bulls?
Yes.
Okay.
Preseason. The finals is on ESPN.
Hey, Mr. Woods C said Big G's got sign gate going on.
Sure do. Sound like old Mr. Stanius been in the building stealing stuff.
He not logged into the right stream yard. We got all the homies and all the matrix stuff in it and stuff.
I found
hit the nail on the head over here.
I found it.
Say?
She said, "Wish Val luck putting up with Tate, but the patient."
You hear that? She's sitting right here beside me.
Yeah.
But no, and big shout out to my wife, man. She's been amazing through this whole. It's been a 7-year journey, man. I found out about my kidneys Friday, October the 13th, 2017, and I started dialysis April 1st, 2018. So it's been a journey, man. But we're on the other side of it, and I appreciate all the love, all the support from everybody, family, my everybody. So I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here, man. And thank you, fellas. G, thanks for letting me in real quick.
No problem,
So,
bro.
you guys gone with this great show. What we gonna talk about on overtime? Do I need to stay up and watch it?
Absolutely. Pay got it, but Pay got some topics, bro. He's gonna be talking cash.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll be there at least early on till I fall asleep. Because we in the hospital, you gotta fall asleep about 9 o'clock because they're gonna wake you up at 3 a.m. and give you medicine.
Sure do. Got to get your disease in. But we praying you feeling better, bro. Wishes and prayers. We love you, man. Get some rest.
All right, fellas. Yeah, we'll holler.
All right, man. Holla. Dan Littlejohn, man. We thank you for the $1.99, man. Get well soon, Tate. What'd you say, Pay?
Is this the point where we can start telling everybody the truth that Tate's in the hospital for getting a BBL?
Oh man!
Oh my God!
Damn!
Oh my God! No, Pay, that's not true. That's not facts. That's I wish I had an opposite of big fact sign, man. No, we don't have that. No, that's not what happened. That's not what happened.
You get a little nip tuck going on.
Yeah. Listen, oh my God, I gotta hold it together so I just don't lose it on air, man.
I mean, he did say anal, so I mean,
Hey,
no doubt. Hey man, so listen, we're going back to the Bengals. B-Dirt, man, State of the Union of the Bengals. Do the Bengals make a move? Do they have it in them to do something to or do they just need to get healthy? And what do they got to do, man, to get back into it?
I don't know that there's a defensive tackle out there that they could grab. And listen, I don't. The Bengals are Duke Tobin, the general manager, is definitely. They look at they're not looking at just this season. They're looking at future seasons as well. Mm-hmm. So I don't see them making a move for somebody unless they can get a 2 or 3 year contract. I don't see them giving up draft capital. The way that they're trying to pay, I expect Jamar Chase to get his deal this offseason. And the way they're going to pay those two, the quarterback and the wide receiver, they're going to need all the draft capital they can because they're going to have to build this team up with young players because they're not going to be able to pay everybody if you're paying, $50 million to $55 to a quarterback and 40 to a wide receiver. And that's what they're going to end up paying because they didn't get the job done last year. This past year, they could have got it done for 36, 37 million probably. But today's price is not yesterday's price.
So I'm going to ask Pay this question because I'm hearing a lot of rumblings, man, that they might go try to get a guy out of Vegas, man. Tim Lyons put it in the chat, but I heard it today too. Max Crosby might want to be a Bengal. Pay, do you think that happens?
Everybody is saying Max Crosby wants to be fill in the blank. Whatever team they align with, they got Max Crosby going there. I mean,
Lions too. There's a lot of chatter about the Lions too because he played at Eastern Michigan.
I think with the rumblings that Max Crosby is ready to go on somewhere else because he said that he's not trying to rebuild, right? He's not trying to be a project or something like that to that nature. What does he think the Cincinnati Bengals outlook is? So
that's a big.
I think it's up in the air for where he can go.
Your mic went crazy, Pay.
No, my fault. I said I think it's up in the air about where he could end up going, but it's also I think the most likely thing that happens is that he doesn't get traded anywhere.
So the Bengals will be if I truly believe that they're going to beat down the Browns and they'll be what 3-4, 3-5. Peter, what's their record?
Yeah,
3-4,
2-4 right now.
No, they're 2. They got 2 wins now. If they win, they'll be 3-4.
Correct.
Right.
Right. So 2-4 now.
Who do they play Who do they play after they play the Browns?
Eagles, maybe.
They could win that game. Definitely could. Yeah, they could win that game. So a 4-4 start And Peter, this question is to you. A 4-4 start for the first 8 games. Is that manageable for the back half for the Bengals?
Yeah. Yeah, they could. I mean, we play the Eagles and then we play the Raiders. You know, I think there's a lot of winnable games here. The Titans, the Chargers, any of those divisional games are always going to be tough. Steelers and Ravens, and we all know that. Cowboys, Broncos, like those are winnable games, man.
Hey, Chaz 8 said, thank you for the $1.99. We appreciate you. He said, any trade y'all want a team to make and for who? Well, we've already talked about the Browns as a fire sale. Peter, what do you think the Bengals should do?
I mean, I would love to see a defensive tackle. I just don't know if there's any out there that can make a splash. Now, that said, you put Mad Max on the left side and Hendrickson on the right side, I'm going to be pretty happy with that.
Oh, that's Pittsburgh Steelers.
And they play the opposite ends too, so it'd be a natural fit.
Yeah, that's Pittsburgh Steelers. When you line it up with defensive ends and pass rushers like that, that's big facts. So, yeah, we're definitely going to talk about the Ravens, who they want, who they like when we get to the Ravens segue. And, of course, you know, I got feet on the ground, listening, hearing that the Steelers might try to do something as well. So, Chad, we definitely will revisit that comment when we come back on it. All right, so, fellas, one last question before we get to the break. Before we talk about these two teams, okay? Has the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Baltimore Ravens separated themselves enough from these two teams? Or do you think it's how we know what goes down traditionally in the AFC North, where it's a battle to the end? Because normally how it goes is one team is completely dumpster fire and 3 teams fight, right? And they're all close to each other with records, 10-7, 11-6, 9-8. So do you think we're in for a battle like that this year? Or which way do you think it? You think it's separated enough? Hey, I'm going to start with you, man. You think that they moved their way enough ahead to where it's not even going to be a fight?
No, I think this division is going to be as tight as it is now, all the way through.
No
Baltimore,
no doubt.
A little bit, G.
Okay.
A little bit. Baltimore is only separated by what? No, they have a tiebreaker against Pittsburgh. They have the same record, and
they have one divisional win. That's why they're ahead.
Exactly, because you all have played cream puffs the whole way through.
The Browns aren't cream puffs? That's what y'all played. Y'all beat the brake shoes off of them.
I said the Steelers have played cream puffs all the way through.
Y'all played the Browns. The Browns suck. They one of the worst teams in the league.
They also started the season against the defending champs.
Okay.
All right.
That's a decent game.
And they beat the Cowboys. Not throwing any shade, just saying. I'm just pointing out a fact.
Total shade.
They did beat the Cowboys. But no, I think it's going to be, as it always is with this division, it's going to go down to the wire. There's going to be tiebreakers in week 18, week 17 games of significance. That's I don't even have to look at the schedule. I just notice how it is. You have one team that we'll talk about in a little bit. They're considering a quarterback change. You have another team that should be changing quarterbacks. You have another team that should, need to play better on defense. Another team that needs to play better. Needs to just play stack wins to get back into the race. There's a lot of things that can still play out, basically what I'm saying.
Yep. B-Dirt, is it over or is it 3 for the fight?
Mark your calendars on Christmas Day at 4:35. The Ravens play the Texans, and the winner of that game is either going to be first or second in the AFC as far as the standings and get that home field advantage and bye. So,
wow.
If the Chiefs, I think are going to come back down to earth a little bit. I expect them to lose a couple games. So I think the Ravens are right there. I mean, the Ravens got the Browns left on their schedule twice. They have the Buccaneers. They have the
Bengals
Bengals
twice.
They have the Bengals and Steelers. The Chargers, Giants. Like they got winnable games, man. And I think that they have proven themselves to be kind of the cream of the crop in our division in the AFC North. I don't think I think the Steelers have played well as far defensively. They're playing really well. They're winning games the way the Steelers have won games the past few years. Will Russell Wilson give them that shot in the arm? Maybe, I don't know, but I don't think they've got what it takes to really knock off Lamar. Jackson's playing great football, man. I think they're going to win the division by 2 games.
That's fair. That's fair. All right, fellas, we got to pause for the calls again. We got to play a few more bills. If you're listening to us wherever you get your audio podcast, be it Spotify, Apple, or Google, you're listening to the Homies podcast on Steel Curtain Network, Fans First Sports Network. If you're watching us on YouTube, we're gonna mute the mics, give it a call, give it one time for the one time, and we'll be right back with the Homies podcast live on Steel Curtain Network. And we're back one time. Steel Curtain Network, B-Dirt Payday, talking AFC North. Good to see you, fellas. Great to see y'all. Great to see everybody over in the live chat. If you haven't liked the podcast as of now, make sure you get them algorithms jumping off. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, give us a 5-star rating, share, and subscribe, because we appreciate you helping us build the network, because without you guys, there would be none of us. Fellas.
At the hospital, listen, at the hospital, the gift area or whatever, do they sell Just for Men there? Asking for
I'm not
friend.
sure.
Asking for friend, just throwing it out there.
I ain't sure. I don't know what they do over there, but somebody might, I don't know.
You think Val brought it for him?
Maybe.
It still looked dark. It still looked pretty dark. I didn't see any grays in there. All right.
Man, Tate is the type of guy, man. He might have somebody come in there and give him a haircut in the bar, in the hospital.
Facts.
Yeah, he might give it. He need that fresh fade, man. That's my people, man. It's my family. I know how he operate. He been getting down like that since we were kids. But yeah, prayers up to Tate, man. He was with us for a hot second today on the show. He's doing well, as you guys can see. He's recovering, and he truly thanks you guys for everybody for sending prayers and get wells and all whatever else. And I know he's talked to us about it as well. So we thank you guys, because you're a big part of this healing process for him.
Hey, I don't care if you're in the hospital or not. You still get done dirty. Don't forget.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. There's no mercy when it comes to the homies, dog. No mercy.
Nah.
Yeah. All right, man. Pay. It's Raven time. Ravens started out 0-2, mashed the gas the last few games, totally decimated a few teams. Right, looking great, looking like a real Super Bowl contender. Don't really have any concerns, maybe a little defensively, but offensively, Lamar Jackson, in my opinion, if the season ended today, he would be the MVP of the league once again. So, do the Baltimore Ravens have to do anything to tweak this lineup and tweak this roster to make the push? Or do they have everything they need? Because I'm thinking they might need another piece, especially defensively. But that's just me.
What piece would that be, G?
Probably a pass rusher.
So Kyle Van Noy, Matabuke just don't cut it.
Well, it's always better to have 2.
Well, better to have 3, 4, maybe.
Yeah.
I think they're set on necessary players on that side of the ball. I think they just need to play better. I think September, halfway through October, they were just getting their sea legs, working up a lather, as we say on the Frustrated Chicago Sports Fan channel. That's all it is. I have no doubt that they will start to play better. We will start to see that defense that we're accustomed to seeing out of Baltimore. So no, I don't think they need to make a move on defense, especially they don't need to make a move on offense, because a lot of people believe they have the best offense in the league right now. I don't agree with that. I wouldn't say that, but they have been a well-oiled machine, at least played that way to this point. Also, if the season ends today, hey Darnold, that's your MVP.
No way.
5-0.
Maybe most improved player, maybe, but MVP is Lamar Jackson. No way.
Listen, a couple people in had the same thoughts as me over here. Let's see, Mr. Woodside and Ronald Blake. Ravens secondary could be their weakness. I think they would do well with another corner.
Mm-hmm.
So they drafted a corner. They've been playing him a lot out there. So maybe some of that step back is because they have a younger player out there. I think Cal Hamilton hasn't played up to his potential at this point of the season. Marlon Humphrey is still, the often injured Marlon Humphrey. He's still getting his sea legs, working up a lather. So trading for another player is just going to make a room that's already crowded more crowded. That's not necessarily what they need. They just need to play up to their potential. As you always see in the NFL, the second half of the season is where the team really starts to mold into who they are. Marlon Humphrey is a former All-Pro. Cal Hampton is a former All-Pro. And not Terry Arnold, I'm thinking wrong show. And I'm blanking on my boy's name right now. The number 1 draft pick, Nate Wiggins, right? Yeah. Nate Wiggins, he's going to be just fine. Now, cornerback is a tough transition from college to pro, right? So maybe he won't be just fine this season. Maybe you won't see that step up until next season. Time will tell. But I definitely don't think they need to make that move now in season. Now that's just me. They can feel differently. They can say, you know what, the window is here. We need to strike with our iron side, and I would not fault them for it. You got to take your shots when you have them.
Mm-hmm. Hey, so we got a question from the live chat. I think it's really interesting. From Rob Lightfoot, man. He said, "Pay, is the Ravens defense better than the Steelers?" You're pausing real long, man. What's going on there?
I don't think you should say that. On paper, I would say that, right? They have the better players, but they haven't played that way, right? So the answer to that is an easy no. The Steelers defense has won them games this season. These Baltimore Ravens defense has lost them games this season. So no, not at all.
B-Dirt, do you think the Ravens defense is better than the Steelers, or where are you at with that?
I think Pay answered that question very, very well. Maybe more, NFL buzz names with Marlon Humphrey, whatever, but I don't think he's played better than the Steelers have. And I think the tiebreaker in that conversation is, Watt.
Yeah. Total game record.
He can wreck a game by himself.
Yeah, total game record. They have that one element. I don't know if Baltimore has that element. Great players, all 3 levels, but
both
I don't know if they have a game record.
Both of those defenses play with an edge of violence that I like.
Yeah, traditionally, and again in this season, absolutely.
Yep,
absolutely. All right, fellas, we get to what the subject that most of the people came because we are on the Steel Curtain Network. So I know they want to hear a lot of chatter about the Pittsburgh Steelers. Number one, I'm going to make a couple of statements, then I'm going to toss it up to you guys and let y'all do what you got to do concerning, because even though I know that you guys represent the Baltimore Ravens and the Cincinnati Bengals on this show, I know that you guys know and understand football. So I have to be as objective as possible. And sometimes that's hard for me because, I'll call somebody big trash in a minute, and B-Dirt always says I hedge my bets. I got 1 foot in and 1 foot out, which I am known for doing things like that. But I'm just going to state the facts. The facts are that Russell Wilson is set to start on Sunday against the New York Football Jets. He's set to start. Justin has come out and said publicly he didn't do enough to hold on to the starting job, even though he's played well. But the facts is Rusty's going to start. The facts are Justin Fields is going to play. How much he's going to play, I would say anywhere between 8 and 15 snaps, maybe 16 snaps for the game. And he's an integral part of the game plan because you don't put a player like that on the bench and make your team better. So Russie's due to start. Fact number 2 is the Pittsburgh Steelers have been decimated just like every other team in the NFL, but particularly in the offensive line. And last week with a decimated offensive line, Najee Harris had his best game of the season with rushing over 100 yards and doing an outstanding job against the Raiders. Facts are, too, George Pickens has dropped 3 touchdown passes this year, and Justin has missed a lot of open wide receivers. He's played well. He's played serviceable. He's played way better than he played in Chicago with Pittsburgh. But the question is, do the Pittsburgh Steelers, are they making the right move concerning the switch at quarterback? So I'm going to ask B-Dirt first, then I'm going to ask Pay your thoughts or your feelings concerning the Pittsburgh Steelers switching quarterbacks and going to Russie.
Well, I think the 2 most important questions about this, about Russell Wilson starting this week is, and I'm shout out here to Rob Lightfoot, is will he hold on to this job and be the starter at the end of the year along with Dan Moore? Because on August 23rd, Rob Lightfoot bet you corner time that would indeed happen. Yeah. And then the second thing is do they put together...
Time out though. Time out. Dan Moore is because of injury. That's the only reason why he's going to start the rest of the season.
I didn't see that caveat in there, so we're going to continue on.
Okay.
And the second thing is there going to be a package where they have Justin Fields going in, maybe short yardage, maybe goal line, maybe a 3rd and 2 play or 4th and 2 at midfield. Is there some sort of package, and can he get over 1.5 catches this season still? Those are the 2 questions I really have, because on August 16th, you bet 25 push-ups against Pay that Justin Fields would have over 1.5 catches. So those are the 2 questions I've really got my eye on for this. The other thing that I will say, as a Bengals fan living in Pittsburgh, you guys know I digest a ton of football news, podcasts, shows, things like that. The only time I listen to local sports radio, 93.7 The Fan, has been on since they said Russie was going to start, because it's hilarious. Wow. It's hilarious. Steelers fans have some real mixed emotions going on right now.
Yeah. I feel it. But, the over-under for the 1.5 catches has really went good now that Russie's been named the starter. But, Pay, same question that I asked B-Dirt. Is this the right move for the Steelers, and is this the right team? Because they're playing the Jets, who just traded for Devontae Adams, and in my opinion, is a 2-4 team that's not a 2-4 team based on the offensive weapons that they have on that team now. They are loaded. So is this the right move for the Steelers to go to Russie?
They are definitely a 2-4 team because they are trash. You are in most cases what your quarterback is. He's washed. He's a diva. Oh, I'm sorry. Diva is gender exclusive. I want to be inclusive. He's a divo. So they are 2-4 as they should be. To answer that question about the Steelers, though, is it the right thing to do? I mean, I would have to lean towards Mike Tomlin. I don't think a definitive decision has been made yet. I don't think, at least it hasn't been made public. I think the locker room knows, and just based on the
George Pickens and Mika Fitzpatrick came out today and said it, basically in their interviews.
Yeah, and if you read the body language from Justin the other day when he said what you said, he didn't play well enough, and you read the body language from Russell, he's all upbeat and stuff like that. It sounds like the news has already been let everybody know inside that locker room, right? We just don't know, and I don't think we're gonna know until
Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday. Maybe even Sunday morning. But I would have to lean to Tomlin on this, right? And I know that's not a great thing to do for radio or podcast. You want to be definitive, you want to give the take, but Tomlin knows the beat of that locker room. He knows the pulse. He knows what Justin can handle. Maybe he knows what that offense can handle. Can they handle a quarterback switch at week 7? Maybe they have the maturity of it, but We shall see if they can handle it on the field. Now, because Russell isn't the same quarterback that Justin is. They had their whole offense prepared, or at least ready, not ready, accustomed to the type of quarterback that Justin is. Justin, he will come back deeper in the pocket because he wants the pass rush to come to him, so he can have the ability to see the lane and take off if he needs to. Right? Russell's not going to do that. Russell's not going to go that deep in the pocket because he's not going to take off. Russell's not a scrambler in that way. Russell's
time.
Yes, Russell buys time, and that's gotten him in trouble as Russell's gotten older. He holds the ball too long because he's waiting for the big play because Russell wants to be the hero, and then that's where the sacks come. Also, the type of passes that Russell likes to do versus the type of passes that Justin likes to do. So there's going to be a level of feeling out because Russell didn't get a lot of the first team snaps during the preseason, during the training camp. It was all Justin. Russell's only had this week and some weeks back in July getting first team snaps. That doesn't bode well for mid-season moves. If you were to do this and hope to be successful with it, it would be with some quarterback that the team already has a type of rapport with. This team don't know Justin. I mean, this team don't know Russell. I'm sorry. But if any team is going to pull it off, it would be a team that's well coached. And I don't think there's any team in the league that's more well coached than the Steelers.
You know, my problem with Russell Wilson is this. Let's play a little word association. First word, single word that pops in your head, Big G, when I say Russell Wilson is what?
Too old.
Oh,
that's 2 words.
That's 2 words. We'll just go with old. Pay you.
Cornball.
Corny is what comes to my mind too. Old and corny is not who I want running my team. My word association completely different with Justin Fields. I think athletic, monster, young, talented, young. You know, like, who do you want to try and give this team over to for the long term? I don't know. I would run with the way they've been running with it, but that's just me.
In my opinion, I think that this was the plan all along. And I think that we were forced into Justin playing quarterback based on the injury. But I do believe all along that the plan was that it was going to be Rusty first and some packages for Justin. But I think based on the 4-2, because I wanted Justin to start it. But based on the 4-2 and the way he played, I think that the package becomes bigger to where I thought maybe at the beginning it was 3, maybe 4 to 6 snaps. Now it's 15 to 20. Down and distance might play a difference. And I think he's a Swiss Army knife. You can do anything you want to do with him. But I will say, and I would just want to get you guys' reaction to this. I think Russie only gets a 2-game sample size versus Justin having 6 games. Justin went 4-2. We know what we got in him. If Russie plays trash against the Jets and the Giants, they're going back to Justin because Tomlin's not going to blow the season up on the fact of just, I'm going to stick to what I know concerning Russell Wilson. I think he's giving him 2 games. And I just want to get you guys' reaction to that. You think that if Russie plays trash over 2, does he start? After the bye?
The thing that what B Dirt said, the problem with Russ is that he won't get off Sierra. I'm about tired of every time I'm looking up and she's looking good again. Like now she's pregnant. Like, God damn, Russ, leave her alone, bro. Go play football.
Yeah, I don't know if I can blame him though.
Yeah,
no, I can't blame him. You're right. I can't blame him. But I'm still mad at him for it. But back to the question. There's no way he has a 2-game leash for the vet of the offense. The Russell, who's a career long starter, can't do it. Because if they do the switcheroo again, Tomlin's gonna lose that all. He's gonna lose that locker room. And at that point,
if they're 4-2 and he goes 0-2, they're 4-4. Tomlin's not gonna smoke the season for Russie. He's not gonna do it.
You already smoked the season by doing the move.
Wow.
Well, if you do it, listen. If you don't do it in 2, you shouldn't do it in 3, and put Fields back out there against the Ravens. Yeah. So you either do it in 2 or you do it in 4.
I really want Justin Fields to be the starter. when they play Baltimore. Not for anything that has anything to do with what we're talking about, because I got some things I need to figure out with one of my co-hosts on the Frustrated Chicago Sports Fan podcast. He knows. He's watching. He knows. He knows.
How do you guys like the chances of the Steelers being able to beat the Jets? If you had to give a percentage, what would you do?
The Steelers.
I'm gonna start with you.
The Jets are trash. They're led by a Devo, as I said, the male version of a diva, to who all know what that is. The Jets are trash. They lost. The reason why they're 2-4 is not because they were down a dynamic receiver. The reason why they're 2-4 is because they're led by a guy who don't want to show up to minicamp when he should, and working with his guys. They're led by a guy who throws people underneath the bus when he's the one that's not throwing the ball where he should be throwing it. They have lapses on defense when they shouldn't have it. They don't run the ball.
Bias. This is sign bias.
These are facts. These are facts. What did I say? That was categorically wrong. These are facts. Even I will give Tom the credit for this. If he was going to make this switch, this is the best time to do it, because this team that they're playing, it's a bye week, pretty much. In fact, I'll go one better. In fact, I won't even name that quarterback by name. I won't say his name. He has a new name. He's a boy band. He's a boy band member. He is a Devo, like I said. His name is no longer Aaron Rodgers. His name is Chico Garbage.
Oh, that's a lot of disrespect. A lot of disrespect. Hey, that might have been the most biased take I ever heard out of you.
Now that's biased. All right, I will give you
biased.
That's biased.
That's biased, man. So B-Dirt, man. Is this the wrong week, man? Is this the wrong week? Because listen, Devontae Adams, Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall, Allen, the rookie running back from Wisconsin, Conklin, 2 serviceable tight ends, and they have a Pro Bowl player at every level: defensive line, linebacker, DB. The Jets are not 2-4. So do you think it's an issue?
I'm not gonna go as far as Chico Garbage, but I will. They've played underwhelming so far this year. But the one thing I do know is Aaron Rodgers' 2 best games by far this year were his primetime games.
Facts.
He tends to get up for these night games, these primetime games. So I wouldn't be shocked if he pulls a really good game out of his rear end. But the Steelers are home dogs by 1.5 points right now, and almost 2/3 of the money bet on, or 2/3 of the bets on DraftKings right now are on the Jets. When I see that, I normally immediately think the Steelers are going to win. So I give the Steelers a slight advantage. But listen, Aaron Rodgers is one of the better quarterbacks of all time. And I could see him pulling a rabbit out the hat here, especially, getting his boy band back together with Devontae Adams to give him a little spark. So I don't rule that out, but I give the edge here to the defense of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Facts. All right, Claude Bishop, man, we thank you for the $5, man, for the super chat. He said Russell rushed for 351 yards last year and was 20 TDs, 1 interception in the red zone, and that's why he's starting. Be better, guys. Hey, that's facts. As much as I don't want to admit it, that's facts. That is true. Russ did an outstanding job for Denver in the red zone last season. So maybe, and I think he's starting because he's going to be more accurate, because Justin did miss some throws. And to me, any kind of way you can make splash plays, because I'm telling you right now, the Steelers get 4 to 6 splash plays a game, they win most of their games. They beat most of the teams they play because of how good the defense is. So Russie gives them an opportunity maybe to get a splash play with his arm versus his legs, right?
Well, and listen, going into the season, I was one of the guys that thought Russell Wilson was a really good move for you and should have started. I'm just looking at it from what is going on right now. You're 4-2. I just have some concern about it.
I feel it.
Switching.
Yep. Hey, we thank you for the $6.99 super chat as well. Who was that? Was that Mr. Woodside? Who was that?
Yes, sir.
He gave us those Canadian binkers, dog, those Canadian bucks. We appreciate the $6.99 and the super chat, man. Pittsburgh Toddy said, B-Dirt, read that, dog. B-Dirt, read that, man.
He said Rodgers pulls a hallucinogenic toad out of his hat.
I he's a shroom guy. So,
there is a toad in South America that you can lick and hallucinate from. I've heard stories. Yeah, Mr. Woodside also said that boy band with a little spark is all he heard from B-Dirt.
Could be.
Okay.
All right, fellas, we're to the end of the podcast. Any final thoughts? And we're going to do our predictions on the homies overtime tonight. Payday's at the driver's seat. While we're doing the predictions as far as the scores, we do that every week. Pay looking like he heard a myth or a rumor. No, we do it every week.
I heard a rumor.
Oh, Pay said we ain't doing it tonight. So, hey, I'm not at the controls. Hey, I'm just in the ship, bro. I'm just in the ship.
I've only been doing it when all four of us is here so that we all have the same amount. But
cool. Yeah, so we'll miss it.
But we can play about it. We can talk about them, though.
We sure can. So I appreciate all you guys rocking with us. But any final thoughts from the fellas? B-Dirt, I'm going to start with you, man, as we close this podcast down.
Steelers Sunday night football this week, 8:20 p.m. And somebody that lives in Pittsburgh and has works here. And we have, we deliver food all over the tri-state area here, West Virginia, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. So Sunday night games, I'm telling you here, I'm rooting for the Jets. Go Jets. We can't have a whole bunch of guys calling off because they're out celebrating. We got to have those guys into work on Monday morning. So go Jets.
Got it. Payday. Before we get up out of the homies podcast on Steel Curtain Network, man, your final thoughts, man.
Final thought for this week is they should have denied bond for Jay Cutler. Sorry. That's all I got to say.
Wow. All right. Thanks again. Make sure you rock on over to the Homies Overtime podcast tonight. Make sure you check all of us out on all the podcasts that we have on Fans First Sports Network, Running Through the Jungle, the Bear Claw, the Homies podcast, the Know It Alls podcast, and Chat Journals. You know how we get out every week.
Amen.
Spell that Know It Alls for us over there in the chat. Check me out on the Level Up College Football podcast on Mondays. Don't forget to check out That's Rather Cavaliers, Cleveland Cavaliers, and wherever you get your Fans First Sports Network, Steel Curtain Network podcast. Jeff, Bad, Dave, Shannon, the crew, Betts, the whole crew. We appreciate y'all. We appreciate the chat.
Jay Cutler looks like a pack of Lucky Strikes. You know that.
Oh, he
right?
Sure does.
Okay.
Oh, he sure does. That's big facts. That's big facts. Hey, you know how we get out every week, man. And make sure you swing over to Overtime to check us out this week, man. We got a great show. Pay's going to head it up, but he's going to close us out on this show. Pay, get us out of here, bro.
Arrest Brett Favre.
Well, holla. Peace.